Enjoy before the rain and storms move on in, and really cold air as well. Today, still looking at a lot of sunshine right now, just some passing high clouds in some of our northernmost cities. And we stay dry today, maybe a little bit more sunshine as well for everyone this afternoon and heading into the evening hours. Clear, quiet evening plans look good to go. Tomorrow morning, starting off with a lot of sunshine, and Saturday is going to be the pick day of the week. A gorgeous start to the weekend. Temperatures right now are back in the mid-50s for many, but check it out. 64 already in Harrison, 55 in Lebanon, Mountain Grove, 56 in Salem, and 57 in Monette right now. Throughout the day ahead today, temperatures climbing back into the mid to maybe even a few upper 60s. Sunshine hangs around. Evening temperatures still in the 60s at 7 o'clock with the later sunset now, so it should be really nice. And temperatures by around 4 o'clock today will be back in the mid to upper 60s, maybe in the low 70s in parts of northern Arkansas. And then we're tracking some rain and storms Sunday, a little bit of snow possible, and some bitterly cold air moves in as well. We'll talk about your next First Alert Weather Day coming up soon. Maybe even some low 70s in northern Arkansas, and I'd say maybe a little warmer north of I-44 than what this model here shows. But everyone looking really nice today, and then by around 8 o'clock, any evening plans look great. We'll be back in the mid to upper 50s to even still a few low 60s in some spots, with lows tonight dropping back into the low to mid 40s, still a little bit above average for this time of year to start your Saturday off. And then tomorrow, we'll climb into the mid to maybe even a few upper 70s in some spots. Another day with a lot of sunshine. And then you see we're dropping to the bottom of the roller coaster by the start of next week before we climb back up again by the middle of the week. And I will say 64 on Sunday. That's going to be likely hit in either the mid-morning for some of you through around lunchtime. Your afternoon features falling temperatures, and it will be a bitterly cold afternoon and just a very windy and kind of gross day across the area. So here's what's happening. It's really strong pressure gradient indicated by these lines right here very close together. That means strong winds. Cold front begins to work its way on in throughout the day Sunday. That's going to bring us some rain, some thunderstorms, and then wrapping around the backside of this low. Still very windy, but also a transition over into maybe a little bit of some light snow. I don't think we're talking about a lot in the way of accumulation or any major travel impacts. The travel impacts very likely coming from actually strong winds that will create a very strong crosswind. So when you're driving on Sunday, you will have to hold on to the steering wheel very tight. Now, there is also the potential for severe storms, the potential for strong wind gusts, kind of the greatest threat there. Maybe some small to quarter size hail. We have a level 2 slight risk for severe storms for some areas highlighted in yellow, mostly south of I-44. Level 1 marginal risk Sunday highlighted there in green. Does include the potential for maybe a few tornadoes possible in this level 3 enhanced risk back down towards the Boot Heel over towards Memphis if you have any travel plans for the day on Sunday. Now, by Sunday, let's time the system out for you. From the morning through lunchtime, we'll start to see maybe a few isolated showers popping up. Then in the afternoon, that front works its way on in. Some storms possible, I'd say on the leading edge, some of the strongest, producing some strong gusty winds. And then a transition over, maybe a little bit later than what this model here shows, but a transition eventually over into a very wet snow. And I will say it'll be nearly impossible to measure how much snow you get anyways, because the winds will be so strong that it's really just going to blow around everywhere. So we could see some limited visibility, especially north of Highway 60. Sunday evening, a few light snow showers continue overnight. We're dry by sunrise, though, Monday morning. So strong winds I've been talking about. Let's talk about how strong they are. We'll see gusts around, I'd say 40 to 50 miles an hour across the area from the northwest. And winds stay strong overnight and into the day on Monday, gusts about 30 to 40 miles an hour. This will create wind chills. Your Sunday afternoon will feature temperatures falling fast, and Monday morning 60s, maybe a spot or two around 70 today. Winds pick up again on Sunday. Gusts about 40 to maybe even 50 miles an hour will be possible. With the cold front moving on in, it switches from the north on Monday. That's going to be a very cold wind, creating wind chills in the single digits Monday morning. Still cold in the afternoon, highs just barely in tomorrow before we shake things up a bit. Right now, mostly clear skies, just some passing high cloud cover, mostly north of Highway 60 right now. And overall today, quiet, sunny and clear skies tonight with more sunshine on the way for the day tomorrow. Temperatures right now ranging from the upper 50s to mid 60s already in Harrison, sitting at 65, 59 in Salem, 56 in Lamar, 61 I should say in Branson right now, and temperatures today climbing back in the mid to upper 60s. Some spots may be hitting around 70, and we'll continue to look at really nice temperatures by dinner time, still in the low to mid 60s, and temperatures in the 50s still at midnight. Highs today for most, I'd say around 63 to about 70 degrees. Some of the coolest temperatures north of I-44, but these are still above average for this time of year. 70s potentially for parts of northern Arkansas. Really nice day tomorrow in the 70s, and then by Sunday we are tracking some rain, storms, and a first alert weather day that I'll talk about coming up. Of sunshine, some passing high cloud cover here and there, mostly here in Missouri right now, but overall mostly sunny and warm today. Temperatures in the mid to upper 60s for most, maybe a little bit warmer north of I-44 than what this model here shows, and then back in the upper 60s, low 70s in northern Arkansas. By around 8 o'clock, temperatures still in the 50s to low 60s. With lows tonight only cooling off in the low to mid 40s out the door to start Saturday off, and a gorgeous day tomorrow in the mid 70s before temperatures begin to fall behind a strong cold front pushing in Sunday. That'll bring us some showers, some storms, maybe a little bit of snow, and then we warm back up quickly by next Wednesday. So here's the system we're tracking. Big area of low pressure. It's going to bring very strong winds out ahead of the front and sticking around behind the front. Also, you notice there's the rain and maybe a little bit of snow. And we'll continue to watch that front pushing in a lot cooler air for Sunday evening and again on Monday. Now, there is a risk for severe storms. We do have a first alert weather day on Sunday. There's just a lot happening during the day Sunday, and some of that rain could become strong to severe, and we'll see a level 2 slight risk for severe storms south of I-44 on Sunday, highlighted there in that yellow. And then a level 1 marginal risk here in green. Damaging winds going to be your primary threat. Maybe some large hail, and then I'd say the better chance for an isolated tornado off to our south and east, back over towards the boot. Storms on Sunday, but for us, even outside of any rain or storms, like I mentioned, very strong wind that will time out coming up soon. But first, the rain. By lunchtime, we'll see a few scattered showers. Storm chances going up in the early to mid-afternoon, we'll say, and then I'd say we transition over into snow maybe a little bit later than what this model here shows by the evening hours, and then we'll see maybe a little bit of light snow heading into parts of the overnight hours, with that best chance being north of I-44. A few light snow showers still south of the interstate. We aren't looking at any major accumulation though with this, and I'm not expecting any great travel impacts, big travel impacts for your Monday morning commute. It is just going to be very cold and very windy. So out ahead of the front, still tracking gusts around 30 to 40 miles an hour Sunday morning. Behind the front, gusts around 40 to 50 miles an hour possible Sunday evening, continuing overnight, and then by Monday morning, still looking at strong gusts around 45 miles an hour, but this time from the northwest. That is going to be a cold, slap you in the face kind of wind for your Monday morning, and that continues into the afternoon. Winter is going to hit us hard at the start of next week. So of course we're going to feel even colder than that. By Sunday morning, you'll wake up, you'll say, what rain, what snow? It's not going to snow today. Well, it will potentially for some of you, and the cold air will move in fast. Immediately after that front passes on by, you are looking at colder air rushing in immediately, and we'll start to feel like the 30s and 40s by the warmest time of the day, 20s in the evening, and then wind chills Monday morning, and some spots maybe even below 0 degrees. We haven't talked about this in quite some time. Then Monday afternoon, temperatures only feeling like the teens to 20s by 4 o'clock. So a lot happening Sunday. Monday stays very cold and very windy, but at least we'll have some sunshine. And then by Tuesday, have some snow, some rain, few storms. Back over in the northeast, where we are tracking an area of low pressure right here. You can kind of see that swirl around the low, bringing some snow and a little bit of rain back over towards the Great Lakes and back over into parts of the northeast for the day today. And then in the northern plains, a little bit of snow, mostly there in South Dakota, parts of Montana, and then back over over into parts of Washington, looking at some showers, and we'll continue to see a little bit of snow there as well. Now, there's a numerous winter weather alerts today. We are looking at a couple winter storm warnings in pink, winter storm watches in this darker blue, and purple is winter weather advisories. And strong winds going to be a big factor in the forecast from today all the way through the start of next week on Monday. All of these colors you see here, we have high wind warnings, wind advisories, high wind watches in place already going up across parts of the plains as we prepare for wind gusts greater than 50 miles an hour in some spots Sunday and on Monday. Now, a risk for severe storms Sunday includes us here in the Ozarks. It's a level 3 enhanced risk though just off to our east, including the Boot Heel, back over towards Memphis if you have any travel plans for the weekend. Winter has come out, and last week we had some minor improvements in some spots. This week we have some good improvements. We're now moving from moderate drought back down to just dry here across much of southwestern Missouri. This excludes far southern Missouri, where we do still have moderate drought covering Christian County, Stone County into Taney County and southern Greene County right here. And then also still unfortunately looking at extreme drought here in parts of south central Missouri, including Oregon County and into parts of northern Arkansas. So we'll continue to watch rain chances on the way Sunday, still much needed. The potential for a little bit of a winter mix turning over into some snow as well heading into the evening and overnight hours. It's a first alert weather day, and we'll also see some strong winds and falling temperatures. Just a reminder, Sunday and Monday, wind gusts, I'd say around 40 to 50 miles an hour on Sunday, and then about 35 to 45 miles an hour still for the day on Monday. Tomorrow is going to be really nice as well. We've had a lot of sunshine. Soak it on in, soak in the warmer air. Evening plans look good to go, clear skies, and we stay dry overnight tonight and tomorrow morning. Looking really beautiful. We'll have a lot of sunshine throughout the day on Saturday too. Temperatures right now a little variable, ranging from the low to mid 60s north of Highway 60 to low 70s in northern Arkansas right now. And throughout the rest of your evening, most will drop back into the low 60s by around 7 o'clock and then 50s by 9. Temperatures pretty mild this evening, and overnight we only cool off to the low to mid 40s out the door in the morning, a little bit above average. And a beautiful afternoon tomorrow with temperatures ranging from the upper 60s to the northeast to mid 70s the further southwest you go. Everyone above average for this time of year though. Like I said, more sunshine Saturday. Sunday's just kind of a mess across the area. Rain, storms, a little bit of snow, strong winds, bitterly cold air moving on in. You name it, every season in one day. We'll talk about it coming up on Sunday. Some storms moving in that could be severe, strong winds, a little bit of snow, and temperatures that'll feel more winter-like once again. All happening Sunday into Monday. So a lot to talk about. I'll break down the timing hour by hour coming up next. In northern Arkansas, then overnight lows only cooling off in the low to mid 40s out the door to start Saturday morning off. Your Saturday afternoon features highs in the upper 60s to the northeast and then mid 70s the further southwest you go across our area. Now, by Sunday, we change things up. 64 degrees for a high. That's likely in the morning through maybe around lunchtime, depending on the exact timing a cold front moves on in. As soon as that front moves through your area, you'll see a 20 to 30 degree drop in your temperatures quickly. We'll cool off through Sunday afternoon. Rain, storms, a little bit of snow, and then a very cold Monday with temperatures back barely above freezing for highs now before we warm back up on Wednesday. So here's what's happening. The system we're tracking, big area of low pressure with a cold front sweeping through during the day on Sunday. Very strong winds out ahead of the front and behind the front, and that's going to play a huge factor to your forecast for the day on Sunday. It's going to make it feel a lot colder as well. So here's a look at what we're tracking. There is also the potential for some strong to severe storms. We've actually now been upgraded to a level 3 enhanced risk for severe storms on Sunday, highlighted here in orange south of I-44 in south central Missouri, north central Arkansas. A level 2 slight risk here in yellow for almost the rest of the entire area. Damaging winds will be our primary threat, but I will say it'll be very easy for storms to produce wind gusts upwards of around 58, 60 miles an hour, because winds outside of any storms will be gusting around 40, 50, maybe even isolated 55 miles an hour. So very strong winds regardless for the day on Sunday. Rain and storms begin around lunchtime. Then by around 4 o'clock, this main line, kind of the leading edge, will be the strongest, is back over in some of our easternmost counties. And then on the backside of this system, we'll start to see a transition over in the evening hours to a bit of snow. Now, most of this will be on the light side. It'll be very wet snow and accumulation will be minimal. So don't expect any big travel impacts, but it will be very difficult to measure regardless, all because of the strong wind. So it will just blow around, and while it's falling, likely some limited visibility possible. By Monday, 11 o'clock in the morning, we are looking dry and sunny. It just won't feel very great. So winds will be gusting by Sunday afternoon and evening around 40 to 50 miles an hour. Like I said, this model may be a little bit on the lower end. Regardless, this is nearly 40 miles an hour. Then overnight, same story, 40 to 50 miles an hour, 1 o'clock in the morning. It's from the northwest. That's a cold wind. This is going to be kind of a slap you in the face kind of wind for your Monday morning. By around 6 a.m., gusts still up to about 45 miles an hour, and then gusts 30 to 40 for your Monday afternoon. So of course this will create wind chills. It'll feel awesome as we start Sunday morning off, maybe a bit muggy. And then there's the cold front punching on through. We'll immediately feel like the 40s and 30s, 20s in the evening. Single digits to below zero is what it should feel like Monday morning. We haven't talked about temperatures this cold in quite some time. And then by the afternoon, teens to 20s is only what it'll feel like at the warmest time of the day, Monday. Monitor came out, and this is a look at last week's, where we did see maybe some minor improvements in some spots. This week, we have seen some good improvements, especially here in our Missouri counties, where many have moved back from moderate to even severe drought back down to dry conditions. Still moderate drought for parts of Greene County, all of Christian County, and into parts of Stone County as well. North central Arkansas, the worst of it. Still extreme drought continues, and even a few spots included in this exceptional drought. South central Missouri and Oregon County also included in extreme drought. So we do still need some more rain, believe it or not. We have quite the deficit since really the mid part of last summer. Now, we have more rain on the way, moving in on Sunday. First alert weather day Sunday. We'll see some showers, a few storms, and even a little bit of snow on the backside of this system, and also the potential for some really strong winds and falling temperatures. Winds will begin to pick up, and we are looking at gusts Sunday and even into early Monday around 40 to 50 miles an hour, and we'll continue to see winds die down a bit more by Tuesday. And strong winds still on Saturday. I think we could see some gusts up to 30 miles an hour. Right now, they're looking pretty quiet across the region here in our neck of the woods. Winds about 40 to 50 miles an hour still for the day today. The upper 50s still by around 9 o'clock. Mostly clear skies heading into the night tonight, dropping into the 40s after midnight. Lows will cool off to the low to mid 40s, which is above average for this time of year. Winds are pretty mild tonight and a little breezy at times tomorrow, gusting up to 30 miles an hour, but a gorgeous day on Saturday. Go ahead and make plans to be outside, upper 60s to mid 70s. And then Sunday hits, and that's not going to be so great unless you're a fan of storms, winter weather, strong wind, you name it. It's all happening on Sunday, and we'll talk more about that and the timing of a severe threat coming up on KY3 News at 5. Fine today, clear skies right now, and overnight tonight not going to cause you any problems. We stay mostly clear. Tomorrow still looking sunny and dry. Winds pick up just a little bit tomorrow with some gusts about 30 miles an hour. Temperatures right now heading into dinner time back in the upper 50s to low 60s in some of our northernmost cities, 59 in Warsaw, 65 in Springfield, 68 in Mountain Grove, and 73 really nice in northern Arkansas. Over the next couple of hours, dropping back into the low 60s for most, closer to 8. Obviously in the 50s, mid 50s in some of our northernmost cities a little earlier. And then by around 1 o'clock in the morning, we're in the upper 40s. But dropping into the low 40s by sunrise. Highs tomorrow, upper 60s to mid 70s, everyone above average for this time of year. And then Sunday hits, and we have something for everyone. We have storms, we have snow, we have strong winds, and we have warmer temperatures falling quickly. We'll talk more about your next First Alert Weather Day coming up. Find just some passing high clouds here and there, and we've stayed dry and we'll stay quiet overnight tonight. Temperatures on the warmer side still by 8 in the mid 50s to the north. Low 60s further off to the south, with overnight lows tonight dropping back in the low to mid 40s, waking up tomorrow morning. That is above average. And then your afternoon will feature upper 60s from Camdenton, Houston, West Plains, and then mid 70s from Springfield down through Harrison for highs tomorrow. Sunday, Temperatures in the 60s for highs hit in the morning through around lunchtime, and then actually falling into the afternoon, dropping during the day, and it gets cold immediately behind the cold front that passes by. Highs just barely above freezing on Monday before we warm back up quickly by the middle of next week. We're also tracking some storm chances. First alert weather day Sunday. There is a level 3 enhanced risk for severe storms now issued for some areas south of I-44, highlighted in orange you see here. Level 2 slight risk includes just about the rest of us. Damaging winds are going to be our primary threat that we see. There is a very low tornado risk as well, but even outside of any storms, we are looking at winds that will be roaring across the region. Now, timing out the rain and storms for you and then by the mid-afternoon at 4 o'clock, they're already back over in some of our easternmost counties, and that leading edge producing some strong gusty winds very likely, and some brief pockets of heavy rain possible too. You notice though here on the backside of this system, we try to transition over into a little bit of snow. This would be a very wet snow, and we're not looking at much in the way of accumulation. Minimal accumulation with this, I'd say less than an inch, but regardless, it won't be measurable. And that's all thanks to very strong winds passing on by. So the snow's just gonna blow around, and you may see some drifts in some spots that look a little bit greater than an inch, but that would certainly not be widespread, and no major travel impacts expected for your Monday morning, aside from a very strong crosswind while you're driving. So truck drivers, beware Sunday and into the day on Monday. Winds Sunday morning coming in from the south, gusting 30 to 40 miles an hour. Then by the afternoon, switching from the northwest behind that front, gusting I'd say 40, 45 miles an hour. And then overnight, up to 50-mile-an-hour gusts will be possible. This is 1 a.m. Monday morning. And then by sunrise, still gusting, I'd say about 35 to 45 miles an hour. And this is going to be a very cold wind as well. By the afternoon, still gusting 30 to 40 miles an hour. So of course, we're tracking wind chills. It's not going to feel too bad in the morning on Sunday. 60s, the front passes on by, and you see that sharp difference. 60 in West Plains, 45 just down the road in Houston, and then 30s in some spots as well. By 3 o'clock is what it'll feel like. Below zero to the single digits Monday morning. Monday afternoon, teens and 20s is what it'll feel like. So I hope you haven't put the winter coats away just quite yet. Hat, gloves, scarves, everything needed for the day Monday. And Tuesday morning, very cold too. And then in the mid-40s Tuesday afternoon. 60s and 70s though quickly by around Thursday of next week. We're back well above average. Temperature increasing with height is called what?
Well, I never hear you use the term jump, and I never hear you use the term thermoversal, so I'm going with a temperature inversion.
Yes, an inversion is correct.
That's because I hear it from you.
I think I told you yesterday too, not knowing that was today's question.
Yep. That didn't hurt either.
Yeah.
Next, the big step today in the construction of a Silver Dollar City resort. A pick day this weekend.
Yeah, and that's going to be tomorrow for sure. Hands down, upper 60s to mid 70s. I already have plans to just spend the entire afternoon outside, lunch outside, dinner outside. It's going to be great. And then Sunday hits, and winds will be roaring. Gusts 40, 50 miles an hour. We have rain and storms on the way. Some could be severe. A little bit of snow in the evening and overnight hours. So it's a classic Ozarks spring day, where we get everything all at once. First alert weather day, falling temperatures, single-digit wind chills Monday morning, and then very cold in the afternoon as well. But then we're back in the 70s quickly by the later half of next week.
You know what the great thing about that is? Sunday I was going to do yard work. Ooh. Not going to do it now.
Not anymore.
Thanks for watching.